It's good to see everybody come together again today. My name is David Samorege, and I'm so proud, very, very proud to be addressing every one of us here today. And I do hope that we're all here fully loaded, ready to learn. First, to unlearn the things that keeps our business stagnant and learn the things that propel our business to greater heights. And it's going to be my great pleasure to introduce our speaker today. Guys, this guy is a trailblazer. This guy is a globetrotter. You don't want to hear or listen to his bio. He's an awesome, awesome trainer. He's a God-fearing man who believes in doing it as it is to get the job done. According to him, when he saw this or heard about this business for the first time, he was not very interested. He wasn't keen. But in his own words, I quote, he says, "They say only a fool doubts proof when only a fool doubts proof, but when he saw all his friends genuinely excited about this business, he jumped on board." Now, how many of you are still thinking when you find your friends already excited and they're already on board? Join them now before it's too late, buddies. Look at this guy's, listen very carefully to this guy's profile. In 4 days, he hit the Royal. Wow. And then in the following week, he hit the silver. And the week after, he hit the gold. And then he hit the platinum in his 4th week. Whoa. This is, guys, we are going to learn and hear from a guy today who knows it all, who's done it, who's been there and done there, that we can learn from him. And because of the fact that he jumped into this business, he's not just learned a lot, not just gained a lot, but he's been able to travel a lot. This guy has made about 27 trips since he became part of the Secret family. Guess what? He's been to, name the countries. He's been to Mexico, he's been to Germany, he's been to Bahamas, he's been to Brazil, he's been to Nicaragua, he resides in Pennsylvania, there in the US, yet he's been to Las Vegas, he's been to Miami, he's been to Los Angeles, he's been to Dallas. Come on, name it, guys. What else? He's been to Jamaica, he's been all over. It's my great, great pleasure, guys. This is a man who says he only believes his business partner is God. He's an international motivational speaker. He's an international trainer. He's a mentor of many. This guy is a servant leader. He loves fun. He's, above all, he's disciplined and persistent. He's very passionate about this business. No wonder he's successful. Guys, put your hands together as you join me to welcome this great man, Duey Saxton.
All right, great. So first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on the call. And I've started by say, yo, big up God. Every call I go and I always say, God, I'm a Dan, God, I'm a general, God, I'm a boss. And every call, every time I'm asked to speak and I jump on a call, I always pray first. And I ask him to guide my words and guide my anything that comes out. And if I could impact one person in a positive way, we did a good job. And I know for a fact that without him, I wouldn't be here on this call. And I like to talk, so I like to give him his credit from the jump, so I don't forget. So God, big up himself, and thank you for the opportunities. Also, I want to give a special shout out to my team, to Ketchup, and to the whole Secret Jamaica, the whole fraternity, because I get a lot of accolades and recognition because of what that organization does, and it's really not me. It's the team. You mentioned some of the ranks that we did in this company, and all that it was the doing of the team. It wasn't me doing it. So I have to definitely give them the credit. Kudos to the team. Thank you guys for everything that you do. Thank you for making me look so good. And it's an honor representing you guys out here in Secret. And I thank you for everything that you do. And I'm not stupid enough to think that I'm the person that's creating these results. I know for a fact that it's the team that's creating results. So kudos to y'all. I have to give you credit as well. And shout out to everybody that's on this call, because you could have been anywhere, but you decided to jump on this call tonight because you want to receive value, you want to add some value to yourself. So that's also incredible. And I have to say from the jump, I love greatness in action. I've been a fan of GIA for years and on top of years. Just incredible leadership. When you talk about Miguel Reed, Orion Smith, we talk about Carvel Besley, we talk about Theo Salmon, Mark McFarlane, and I could just be on the call spouting out names. And you guys have incredible leadership, people that I definitely look up to, people that's added a lot of value to my journey as well. So you guys all are very appreciated. And I have to say, Tamisha, pick up yourself as well as one of the leaders of GIA. Just putting together platforms like this for people to plug into. It speaks to who you are, it speaks to whose you are. And we really appreciate and we're thankful for your leadership as well. So, guys, for those who don't necessarily know me, my name is Duey Saxton. And, you know, I'm always grateful to be asked to come talk on this calls. And a lot of times, I might even wonder, am I the right person to talk to? Tamisha asked me to come in here and talk about relationships. I was like, relationships. I don't think I've ever talked about relationships on a call specifically before. But hey, let's do it. And for those who don't know me, I'm gonna share my screen real quickly. If you're on Instagram, let's get connected. Duey Saxon, my name. I'm from Sablamar, Jamaica. I currently live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and you know, I often describe myself as a servant. And the reason I say that, one of my favorite quotes from Jim Rohn, he says, "Service to many leads to greatness." Service to many leads to greatness. And the first time I heard that, it was something that stuck with me. So I said, well, if I want to be great, I got to figure out how to serve. So a lot of time when I jump on calls, I describe myself as a servant, and that's who I am. That's who I aspire to be. And when Tamisha said, come on the call and talk about relationships, I was like, all right, let's do it. And you know, I started playing around with PowerPoint. I'm a nerd, for those who don't know. And a bunch of quotes came to my mind. And I want to just go ahead and share these quotes before we get into the talk. One of the quotes that came to my mind, first and foremost, Google relationship. Well, what is a relationship, right? And a relationship, this is one of the definitions I like, is the way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave towards each other. So relationship is the way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave towards each other. And with that said, here are some of the quotes that came to mind as I was thinking about what am I going to come on this call and talk about. The first one, I think everybody should write this down. The quality of your relationships will determine the quality of your life. Let me say it one more time. The quality of your relationships will determine the quality of your life. No, why is this important? I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. There's other people say, show me your friends, and it tells me who you are. They also say you're the combined average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So obviously, the relationships you have are very important, and we stick by this one. Another quote. One is too small of a number to do anything of any great significance. Now, this is from John C. Maxwell's book, Laws of Growth. And I believe that everybody on the line is here to do something significant. If you listen to Miles Monroe, he always says that you have a gift to give to the world. Everybody that's hearing my voice, you have a gift to give to the world. And I believe it's your responsibility to give that. Miles always says, leave empty. Don't rob us of your gift. He often says that the graveyard is the wealthiest space in the world. This is where you have books never written. This is where you have songs never sung. This is where you have business ideas never acted upon. And I'm telling you, you're here to do something significant. And this quote is important because once you understand that one is too small of a number to do anything of significance, you realize that for you to achieve your purpose, you require a team. You're going to need people. I know growing up in Jamaica, they say things like, we don't want new friends and all type of things that hold us down. But understand, for you to reach your full potential, you're going to need a group of people to help you along the way. So this one's key. Another quote, everyone is important. And why this is on there? Because a lot of times when we might have success in different areas, or we might do better than other people in certain aspects of life or business, and we start feeling ourselves and thinking, I'm more important than this person, or this person isn't that important, because they're not. Everyone is important. So as I look at the names I see on the screen, Aaron is very important. Sin is important. Denise is important. Ketanya, she's important. Petrine is important. Wayne is important. You get the drift. Everyone is important. And guys, these are philosophies that I'm sharing with you. When you go out in the world and everyone's important to you, you treat people different. You treat people how they should be treated. Here's another one. How about this one? And you guys heard this one before. You probably heard a lot. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So when talking about relationships, you have to understand this. John C. Maxwell in 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership says, touch a heart before you ask for a hand. I listened to, what's his name? Holton Buggs. And he said one of his secret strategies for building a huge successful business was, you can't out-friend me. So when deal with people, remember this one. This one is key. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. How about this one? This Mary Kay Ash said this. And this is powerful when it comes to interacting with other people. If you keep this at the front of your mind when interacting with other people, you're going to have incredible interactions. Every time you meet someone, they have an invisible sign over their shoulders that say, make me feel important. If you read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it says, appreciation is the nourishment of self-esteem. And the book says that people seek appreciation. People strive for appreciation more than they strive for food. And yet we would never allow anybody that's important to us to go a day without eating, go a week without, go a month without eating. But those same people, you would have them go days, weeks, months, even years without expressing appreciation and gratitude and these things. I remember people strive or seek appreciation more than they seek food. So this one is very key. And every time you meet someone, every time you interact with someone, remember that there's an invisible sign over their shoulders that says, make me feel important. Here's another one. Strangers are friends that you have not met. This is a beautiful quote. See, I grew up in a situation, in a culture where it's frowned upon to want to meet new people. It's frowned upon to want to create new relationships with people that may not be from where you are. People may not be in your team. People might be doing different things. But guys, strangers are friends that you have not met yet. Think about it. We Matarazzo in band by himself. That's true. I mean, everybody was a stranger at some point, right? Your best friend right now was a stranger. And there are relationships out there that are going to be key for you to achieve the thing that you say you want to achieve. And if you go out in the world with a mentality that you don't want to meet anybody, you don't want to know anybody, you don't want to know, you're good with the people that you got, you're going to miss out on something that's there for you. So this one's big as well. How about this one? I love this. I heard Zig Ziglar say this for the first time. He said, if you go out in the world looking for friends, you'll find them few and far in between. But if you go out in the world to be a friend, you find them on every corner. Let me read one more time and just think about what this is saying. If you go out in the world looking for friends, you find them few and far in between. Go in the world to be a friend, and you find them on every corner. And those are some things that came to me as I was thinking about relationships. And there's a lot more. There's a lot in my head. I'm probably going to spit some more as we go through this. So one thing I want to say, if to have great relationships, you have to be intentional. Success, ladies and gentlemen, everything is about being aware of what's required and being intentional about doing the things that brings you towards the goal. So if you want to have great relationships, you have to be intentional about it. Life is about creating systems and habits that get you towards the goal, right? Now, how do you become intentional about being great at relationships? First and foremost, decide that you're going to be great in all your relationships. They say how you do everything is how you do anything. I say it like this, write this down. You are who you are in every area of your life. So if you're a great friend, you probably going to be a great husband. You're probably going to be a great co-worker. You're probably going to be a great boss. You're probably going to be a great leader. You are you in every instance. So if you just make a decision that you're going to be great at relationships, that's the very first thing. But here's the problem with that. 5 frogs are on the log. 4 of them decide to jump off. And you guys can drop it in the chat. How many frogs remain on the log? Drop it in the chat. 5 frogs are on the log. 4 of them decide to jump off. How many frogs are on the log? Let me see. Let's see if we got any answers. 1. And that's mathematically that would be the correct answer. If 4 decide to jump off, obviously there's one frog left on the log. But the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, deciding to do something and actually doing it are 2 separate things. There's a thing called the law of diminishing attention. And it says simply this: when you decide to do something, the longer you take to actually do it, the less likely it is that you will ever do it. And I'm sure if you think about situations in your life, you say, I was going to do that, but I didn't start doing it right away, and I never did it. The law of diminishing intent. So deciding is great, but after you decide, you have to take immediate and appropriate action. And this is some suggestions. Invest in being great at relationships. And here's some books that you can read. And guys, leaders are readers. And when you're in this environment, I'm sure you heard this before. See, whatever you want to get good at, somebody has gotten good at it and wrote a book about it. So I never understand when people say, yeah, I don't read. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. You want to say that you want to be wealthy. Wealthy people have become wealthy and they wrote books about it. You want to be a great salesperson. There's people who are great salespeople who wrote books about being great salesperson. You want to be better at dealing with procrastination. You want to be better in relationships. You want to be better at managing your money. Anything you want to get good at. Somebody has wrote a book about it. So invest in being great at relationships. And I have some books on here, and right from the jump, they might not seem like relationship books, but we're gonna dive a little bit deeper in that. A book, couple books I want to have: the Bible. I'm gonna get back to that. The Bible, that's one of the books. The Four Agreements is one of the books which I think is great in relationships. And it might not stand out as a relationship book. If you read the book, you might be saying, so how is that a relationship book? Like, let me just kind of run through the Four Agreements real quick. The Four Agreements, it talks about, as it suggests, the Four Agreements. The first agreement is be impeccable with your word. And it talks about the things that you say, and it talks about what you say about other people. It talks about gossip, and gossip being when you talk about somebody, it's either a curse or a blessing, right? It talks about being impeccable with your word. It talks about not taking things personally. And that's something that a lot of us need. That's something a lot of us need to apply to our situations, because people say things and we take it personal. People say good things about us, we take it personal. People say bad things about us, we take it personal. You ever realize that sometimes one person can say, yo, let me tell you, man, Jason is incredible, man. I just love Jason. And then in another instance, that same exact person can say, man, I can't stand Jason. I don't trust him. Jason's an asshole. Same person talking about Jason in two different scenarios, and they say totally opposite things. So what does that tell you? It has nothing to do with Jason. It's about that person that's speaking, the situation that they're in that particular time. So don't take things personal. Another one of the agreements is don't make assumptions. Oh my goodness. Something never happened. Somebody said they won't do something, it didn't quite work out, and you make up a story in your head and say, this person did this. Don't make assumptions. And the fourth one is always do your best. I'm going to explain why that's a relationship book. Another one that's kind of obvious, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Our team just actually finished reading this book. And this is one of those books that I believe that everybody should read. I think everybody should continue reading. I mean, the title says it all, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I mean, guys, we're talking about relationships here. So if you haven't read this one, get it. Another one, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And why is this on there? Because John C. Maxwell says everything rises and falls in leadership. And let me share something with you guys. Leadership is relationship. See, you can't lead somebody that doesn't like you. It's crazy how people are in the people business and people don't like them. I listened to an audio, John C. Maxwell's audio, 5 levels of leadership, and he says sometimes as a guy, I just want to go to the person and say, hey, my name is John, I'm your friend, and people don't like you. For you to be a leader, and if you're in this type of any business, everything rises and falls in leadership, you have to be able to cultivate positive relationships. This one, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, is a love book. And this is more along the lines of your personal relationships, even with your team as well. See, and this book, it pretty much talks about we all receive love in different ways, right? It talks about some people like words of affirmation. That's my love language. Some people, their love language is quality time. Some people, their love language is receiving gifts. Some people, their love language is act of service. Some people, their love language is physical touch. And let me give you a brief example. Let's say my love language is receiving gifts, and I'm in a relationship with Judy McGuire, and I'm giving Judy, I'm buying all type of gifts to Judy, and it's not making her happy. Like to me, it seemed like she don't appreciate all these gifts that I'm buying her. But see, Judy's love language is is, say, acts of service. Or maybe Judy's love language is quality time. See, Judy don't care about the gifts. Judy wants me to spend some time with her. So this is a, everybody should read this, 5 love languages. Another one, what to say when you talk to yourself. Again, this might not seem like a relationship book, but I'll delve deeper into why I mentioned that book. Audio I recommend, and there's a lot of audios, but this one I love this guy. It specifically talks about relationships. And Ziegler, Google it. It's also on our SoundCloud. Cultivating winning relationships. So this is you being intentional about getting great at relationships. You're pouring into your mind things and concepts and ideas to get you to be that person to be incredible at relationships, right? So we're gonna talk about 6 types of relationships. And Tamisha, I'm gonna run through very fast because I know you said we're supposed to be like 30 minutes, but I'm a talker. But anyways, first one, and for me this is the key. The first important relationship is your relationship with God. Now, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not the guy to come on a call and say, yo, I don't want to force my beliefs on you. I will force my belief on you. And I think it's very important to have a relationship with God. I think to have true success, God has to be involved in it. One of my favorite books is the Power of Positive Thinking. And I remember by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, my first time reading that, the major takeaway for me, and I share this a lot, he said, make God your business partner. And in every circle I go, I say, oh, God is my business partner. Because I think it's very important. And when we talk about success, I'm sure everybody in the line, you want to be massively successful. If we're talking about secret, there's probably a bunch of people want to be Crown Royal. And maybe you're doing another business, but you want to have a lot of success, right? And if I was to ask you, do you know exactly what you need to do to have the success that you want? If most of us are completely honest with ourselves, nah, not really. I don't know how to be Crown Royal in secret. I want to be. I don't know Jesse McPherson. But if I knew what to be, I'd be it already, right? And it doesn't matter what it is. If you want to have massive success in anything, chances are you know exactly what you need to do to be that. But I mean, you're going to push ahead and do it. But guess what? Proverbs 3 verse 5 says, put your trust in the Lord and lean not on your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy path. Isn't that powerful? It's not powerful to know that there's someone, there's something, there's a higher power that all you gotta do is put your trust in him and do your part. And you can be successful because, ladies and gentlemen, let's face it, success is a faith walk. It's not a walk by sight. Matthew 7 verse 7 says, ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. Knock on the door shall be open. And I bet you there's so many people that want massive success, but they don't ask. So number one, you have to have a solid relationship with God. Number two, I want to talk about is your relationship with yourself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that, you know what, if you screenshot me, it's on screen. I believe that your relationship with you is the foundation of all your other relationships. I'll say it one more time. Your relationship with you is the foundation of every other relationship that you are partaking in. So once we establish that, you know, if you're building a house, if you're building a structure, the foundation has to be solid. The foundation has to be right for the rest of it to be right. So I'm going to say what I said again. Your relationship with you is the foundation of every other relationship that you're a part of. So with that said, what is your relationship with you? I could come on this call and I do it often and say, hey guys, my name is Duey Saxton and I believe in you. I believe that you are going to be incredibly successful. I believe that you're a great leader. I believe that you're going to have an organization that stems the whole entire globe. I believe that you're going to be a multi-million-dollar earner. But ladies and gentlemen, if you do not believe my words, I'm sure everybody on the line would agree that my words, they're in vain. See, the most powerful words that enter your subconscious mind are those words that you say to you. The most powerful words that enter your subconscious mind are those words that you say to you. The most powerful words that enter your subconscious mind are those words that you say to you. And why is this important? One of the books I had on the list was What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Hempstead. If you haven't read that, Pick that up, read it. It's actually available in our drive for free. You can reach out to me after. I can send you that if you don't have access. And what it talks about, guys, is results. And how do you get results? Muzaffar kind of touched on it on the call last night. How do you get your results? Your results that you get are based on the action that you do. So your actions give you your results. Now, how do you get your action? What drives action? What drives action is your motivation, your feeling, your feelings drive your actions. So what drives your feelings? Your attitude drives your feelings. Your attitude is how you look at things. When you look at things, what drives your attitude? Your belief systems. What drives your belief systems? Your thoughts. What drives your thoughts? Your program. See, we're all like computers. Everybody on the line that's hearing my voice, you're a computer. I'm a computer. We're all like computers. And our program, as it goes through all the steps, really decides our results. Now, what's your program? The programs are the people you spend time around, the things that you listen to, the books that you read, the people whose ideas you subscribe to, the words that you say to yourself. And in this book I'm talking about, it's pretty much talking about that, the words that you say to yourself. And if we're to be totally honest, most of the words that we say are, we kind of disrespect ourselves. You know, we talk about our limitations. We talk about the things that we cannot do. And, you know, oh, I'm too old. Oh, my hair isn't high enough. I'm not good looking enough. I'm too skinny. I'm too fat. And you have to be the promoter. The Bible says there's life or death before the tongue. And a lot of times we apply that when we talk to other people and when we're saying things about other people, but we don't realize that it's even more important when you're talking about yourself. And trust me, guys, I get it. I get it. Believe me, I get it. Because I don't know if anybody can relate, because there's many times when I look at my situation, I'm like, yo, how did I get here? I mean, if I go back, if I take it back, listen, let me tell you something. I know for a fact that I came in here a winner. I know I came in this world a winner. Listen, there was millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. That's it, millions of sperm. Me? I'm that egg that I'm sperm that I'm that sperm that fertilized the egg. 0 survivors. I'm that sperm. That was me. And I won that race of millions. So I know for a fact that I came in this world as a winner, and I'm sure there's somebody in line that can relate to me, right? But there's a lot of times I look at my situation and I'm like, so how did I get here? And when you take it further, I remember as a little kid, I saw my sister walking, saw my older brother walking, mama walking, pops walking. I wanted to walk too, you know what my attitude was like, yo, if they can do it, I can do it. I tried to walk. And I failed. And I tried a couple more times. I failed. And I tried again and I tried again and I failed and I tried and I failed and I tried and I tried and I tried and I failed and I failed and I failed and I tried and I tried and I failed. But you know what's interesting? At no point did I ever think about giving up. Never. It didn't even cross my mind. I never thought I was a failure. I didn't. I was embarrassed when I fell. And I tried again and I failed and I tried and tried and tried and I failed and I failed and I failed and eventually I walked. So I knew I have that capacity in me, but I'm sure I don't know if anybody can relate. Sometimes I look at my situation and say, so how did I get here? And as I got older, I started to dream, man. If you ask me when I was a kid, yo, what you gonna be? I say, yo, I'm the prime minister. I'm gonna be on TV. I'm gonna play basketball. I'm gonna be better than Michael Jordan. I'm be in movies. Yo, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna get all the girls. I wasn't trying stuff. I was doing stuff. There was no limitations. But there have been times when I look at my situation, I'm asking myself, how did I get here? And I don't know if it's just me, I don't know if anybody can relate to what I'm saying. I mean, have you ever been in a situation where you feel like less than a winner? Have you ever been in a situation where and not you don't see anything is working? Like, is this you start? Can I do this? Should I just stop and go do something else? Have you ever been in a situation where you're seeing all these people do these things and there's other people saying that you could do it, but that's not what you're seeing. And see, guys, we're human beings. And we're gonna go through these patches, and that's why your relationship with yourself is so important. Because if you love yourself enough to know that if that person can do it, you can do it too. You were like that as a kid. That was your attitude when you tried to walk. If you love yourself enough to know that, listen, I ain't trying shit, I'm doing shit. Pardon my French. You thought like that as a kid. If you love yourself enough to know that you're a champion and you deserve everything, ain't no settling. You came in this world as a champion, ain't nothing changed except your mentality. If you love yourself enough to understand that kid is still in there, it sets a wonderful foundation for every other relationship, guys, and it starts by the words that you say about yourself. So if I encourage one person, just one person at least, to start speaking positive things about yourself, this was a successful call. If I encourage one person, when you start having that doubt, you remind yourself of who you are. Remind yourself of whose you are. This is a successful call. If I get one person to start encouraging other people to speak positively about themselves, this would be a successful call. So we want to make this a successful call. So the relationship with you is very important. Another relationship we want to talk about, relationship with a spouse or significant other. I think the most important, one of the important things is you have to make sure you want to be in a relationship. Make sure you're ready to be in a relationship. I think some of y'all shouldn't be in a relationship. And you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be 100% honest with yourself. Do I want to be in a relationship? And work with the honest answer. If you don't want, if you're not in this, you don't do it. Because they take work, y'all. It's a work. Let me tell you, me 100% transparent. When I got married, I shouldn't have been in a relationship. I was, for those, I don't know if anybody on the line that knew me from back then, but I was in the music. I was like deep into the music game. I was focused on my music career, and I wanted to sleep with everybody, and I was trying to sleep with everybody. That wasn't the type of person I was supposed to be in a solid relationship. But thank God it kind of worked out. But be honest with yourself. And if you're in that space, it's a good thing. I understand that communication is key. Like, even when we talk about relationship yourself, communication is one of the most important things in every relationship. Open lines of communication. Make sure everybody understands each other. And guys, communication is not just talking. Communication is also listening. That was a problem for me for years. I like to talk. Hey, don't judge me. But you have to listen as well. Right? You have to be a good listener too. and just make sure everything is clear. Make sure everybody wants the same things. The Bible says you have to be evenly yoked. Listen, if you're a positive person, and I ain't trying to mess up nobody's relationship here, but if you're like a positive person, it's probably not gonna go so well if you're with a negative person. You know what I'm saying? Looks can't be and when we're younger, we look at the fineness, and I mean, all that's great. I mean, looks are important, yes, but that can't be the sole basis of the relationship. If you're a positive person, you probably want to align yourself with another positive person. If you have big goals and dreams, you probably should be in a relationship with somebody that's big goals and dreams. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same goal or the same dream, but they should be kind of aligned in that direction. If you're into personal growth, you probably should be with somebody that's into personal growth as well. Because if you're into personal growth, you're going to grow. And we outgrow people. And it's just a fact of the situation. And, you know, there are situations, Tamisha asked me about like building my business and does my wife build the business? And she doesn't. And, you know, she doesn't have to. See, when I saw this business, I saw it. I wanted to do it. And because I wanted to do it, that doesn't mean she has to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're an accountant and you meet a girl that's a physical trainer and you say, oh, if you don't quit doing physical training and start doing accounting with me, it's not going to work. It's kind of ridiculous. That doesn't make sense. But as long as you have somebody supportive, somebody that, you know, the best thing my wife does for me, or did for me, she believed in me. She believed in me at times when I didn't believe. She believed in me more than how I believed in me. And guys, I believe in me. And that was a powerful thing for me. You know what I'm saying? That was a powerful to have somebody that just exceed when they see in Think and Grow Rich. There's a chapter that says down to the end is like give a dog a good name to live up to. Give a dog a good name to live up to. My wife gave me a big name to live up to, and I have to live up to that. And I'm so grateful for that. So obviously that relationship is important as well. And Tamisha, let me know how we stay on time. Another relationship I want to talk about is friends. Friends, not romantic friends, but friends. This is key. At the beginning of the call, I said, you're the combined average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. A lot of us hear that, but we don't. We hear it, but we don't hear it. You're the combined average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if that means if you show me 6 stupid people, I can show you number 7. 6 broke people, I can show you number 7. 6 people are not working on themselves, I can show you number 7. 6 people just gossip and talk about people, I can show you number 7. But it works both ways. It's not just on the bad side, it works on the good side as well. If you show me 6 people that are ambitious and that talk about goals and dreams, I can show you number 7. If you show me 6 people who are on the way to success, I can show you number 7. So we have to be intentional about our friends, and you have to practice the art of disassociation and limited association. Some people you just gotta cut them off. And you know what? I'm gonna throw family in there as well. We don't get to choose our family, guys, but some family you have to cut them off. Some friends you have to cut them off. Some friends, it's okay, and family members as well. I'm clumping them together. Some of them, it's okay to spend 5 minutes with them, but not 5 hours. And I know this might sound harsh to a lot of people. And I know, I mean, I grew up with the 2 guys, rich and switch, and don't forget where you come from, and all these type of things. I heard those things too. But you know what? I think where you're going is more important than where you're coming from. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying you should buy into what I'm saying, but where you're going. See, the Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So I want to go in the direction of creating something that's going to leave something for my children's children. The Bible says it. That's where I want to go, right? I understand that for me to get to that point, for me to get to that place, I have to become a different person. I'm not that person right now. So that means I have to work on me. I have to get better. I have to improve. I have to pour into myself. My mentor says, empty your wallet into your mind, and your mind fills up your wallet. No, look at the scenario. Say I'm a good friend. We both come from the ghetto, right? And I understand that, listen, I'm the combined average of 5 people that spend most time. I understand this concept. I'm explaining the concept of friend. And there's a saying that says, change your friends or change your friends. Change your friends or change your friends. Now what this means is either you change your friends by getting a whole new set of friends, or you change your friends by encouraging them to grow and come along with you on the journey. So, all right, so me, I look at Bridget to come from the ghetto. And I said to my friend, yo, bro, I don't want to stay here, man. We got to do something. We need to start reading some books. We need to start attending some seminars. We need to start to go to training. We need to start to plug into some people who got what we want so we can learn from them. And let's say my friend from the wood now, my good friend, I love him, know him from Idam Lee, I'm saying, I'm going to depend on that. I want you, brother. It does throw some later. You come here forward, we're going to burn some weed and we're going. So hold on it. So are you suggesting that I should sacrifice my goals and dreams to create an inheritance for my children's children because my friend here don't want to go? Is that what you're suggesting to me? Forget about me. Is that what you suggest to yourself? If I give him the opportunity to come with me, and he say he don't want to come because of Lloyd, I'm not supposed to go, I'm supposed to stay? Am I talking to anybody on the call? Am I making any sense? If he doesn't want to go, that's on him. I gotta go. If your friends don't want to go where you're going, that's on them. You gotta go. You got goals and you got dreams. And you have to understand that sometimes the people that love you the most are your biggest dream stealers. I remember I saw this lady a couple weeks ago. I showed her the idea. She joined forces with me. She was excited. She loved being around me. She was excited about what we're doing. One day she texts me, like 4 days after, she texts me and say, yo, she don't want to be a part of none of this. She wasn't even taking my calls. This really loved me like 4 days. She spoke to her husband. And he told her that type of stuff. And you know what? Her husband's intentions were not bad. He loves his wife, I'm sure. He was trying to protect her. But he don't know what he don't know. And he has limited beliefs. And he was putting his limited beliefs on her. So a lot of us have to recognize that the people that we love the most, a lot of times, those are our biggest dream stealers. Because they don't see what you see. See, God gave you a vision to you. They don't have to see it. And chances are they won't see it until you start getting close and then it's so you have to be careful, you have to be cognizant of that. So be careful of people you spend the most time with. They say, show me a friend, tell me who you are. I remember who said that. Somebody said that. And it's true. So those relationships, you have to be intentional about them. You have to know who to spend no time with, who to spend 5 minutes with, who we can spend a lot of time with. And let's talk about strangers, because I'm gonna tie them together. I think you have to also not only avoid negative associations, that's important, but you have to also actively pursue positive associations. See, I know for a lot of people that's uncomfortable, especially in the culture that I grew up in. You know, new friends thing. I'm not frightened. Jamaicans know that thought. I'm not frightened. I'm gonna push up myself by that person. That's the wrong attitude. See, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Tim Hurd is a good friend of mine. He's a master distributor. You know how we became friends? I reached out to him. Man, Matt Murray is pretty good right now. I reached out to him. Me and majority of the leaders in secret. I'm pretty good with a lot of them, and a lot of them I reached out to them because I understand this concept. You want to be a part of a circle that's elevated, a circle that will elevate you. If you're the smartest person in the room all the time, you're always in the wrong room. Strangers are friends you have not met yet. Embrace this. I'm telling you. And yes, I'm talking to you. If you hear my voice, I'm talking to you. There's somebody that you have not met yet, somebody you haven't spoken to yet, that they're going to be integral in your success. And if you don't adopt this mentality, strangers are friends we have not met yet. And cultivate those relationships. Actively pursue positive relationships. Actively pursue positive relationships. The sixth relationship I'm talking about is relationship with people in your team. maybe sideline, upline, downline, and people that you look up to, mentors. You should whatever you're doing, you should have mentors. You need mentors. You should have mentors. And guys, there's a concept called modeling. I learned this in this industry. It says find somebody who has the results that you want. Find out what they did. Do what they did. And you'll have similar results. We've all heard this before. And many of us are fortunate to be in a situation where there are many successful people that they want to teach you what they got. They do. Because teaching you how they got what they got, that's going to raise them. But a lot of you are unwilling to put yourself in position. You know, one thing I learned from Matt Morris, Hadiato as well, Josh Valentine. Like, it's difficult not, if you get an opportunity to work with Matt Morris or Hadiato Dumboy or Josh, I'd say almost any one of the leaders, it's very difficult not to like them. And if you work with any of them, you can relate to what I'm saying. And when you finally get to work with them, you will see what I can't imagine somebody not liking Matt Morris that knows him. And we haven't had a whole bunch of conversations like that. We had a number of conversations. We interacted a lot of training and stuff like that. He's reached out to me a lot of times. But he just strikes me as a nice person that really cares about people. Someone that goes above and beyond to help people. And I can say that about almost most of the successful people we know. See, a lot of us have the wrong paradigm. We think that rich people or successful people or people who take advantage of people or people who do things that lack integrity. That is so far from the truth. That has been my experience. So my goal is to model them. I want to be somebody that is almost impossible not to like, because that's what I see. That's how they treat me. So that's how I have to in turn try to treat my people. And just understand, if you're on a weight loss journey, you probably should get a physical trainer. If you're in athletics, you probably gonna get a coach. In business, you need a mentor. Like, it's integral. You have to cultivate those relationships, and you have to also make sure you bring some type of value to the relationship as well. Because remember, combined average of 5 people you spend most time with, it applies to them just the same. So you have to make sure you're not that person that's gonna bring down the average. So you have to be
Hello.
Some to the relationship too, you know. Come on now.
Hello.
Are we time? I'm over?
No, I'm echoing what you're saying, that in particular. Just
okay.
Loud so everybody can hear, because that's probably one of the reasons we thought that this session was necessary.
Okay. I'm gonna wrap up, guys. This is the final couple points. Yeah, but that's important. Mentorship is important. Mentorship is very, very, very important. And sometimes you might not have access to the mentor that you might want. But guys, there's YouTube, there's books. John C. Maxwell is my mentor. He don't know me. I listen to a bunch of audios. I read a bunch of books. That's my mentor. I don't care what you say. So you do what you can, get information from your mentor however you can. And in our situation, my motto is work so hard that they can't ignore you. If you start doing the thing, eventually people will be unable to ignore you, and then you find yourself start working with the mentors that you admire. It's funny. I sent Matt Morris a message, I think in 2018, saying I admired how he was a great closer and I wanted to learn from him and all that type of stuff. And when me and Matt finally connected, and the message was in his, it wasn't following me on Instagram, so it wasn't a folder I didn't see. He's like, he apologized like he didn't see it because of the spam folder, whatever the case may be. Well, from back then, I was actively out there trying to get mentors and trying to find people who can make me bigger and better, and you have to do that for yourself as well. And when dealing with your team, let's start our team. When dealing with people, like let's say people are sideline people, associates, business associates. The quote that one of the quotes that said, if you go out in the world to find a friend, you find them few and far in between. We'll go in the world to be a friend, you find them on every corner. See, my goal, and I'm not saying you have to do this, like anybody I interact with, my goal is to add value to them. That's always my goal, to add value. I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend because I understand that I have to have these positive people. I have to have these people around me. And when talking about your team, everything rises for the leadership. We talked about that at the beginning, right? There's a quote that we all hear all the time. And it says this, it says, build people and people build the business. I think Mozart said it on the call last time. Build people, people build the business. How about this one? Rules without a relationship leads to resentment. Rules without a relationship leads to resentment. Now, a lot of people, you have maybe a leadership role, a leadership title, or leadership, and you think that you're a leader. Leader is relationship. The title don't make you the leader. It's how you deal with people. That's what makes you the leader. And when people are in your charge, leadership is almost like parenting. You have to go above and beyond. You have to look out for your people. You have to have that mentality of service. Remember, service to man leads to greatness. Y'all remember that, right? So when you deal with your team, and I definitely recommend 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Read that book. Listen to the audio. Anything you can find in leadership, read it. Listen to it. Developing the leader within you. Listen to that book. Read that book. Work on your leadership skills because everything rises and falls in leadership. To have success in secret, it's going to be because of your leadership. If your business is not going where how you want it to go, regardless of what business you're in, it's because of your leadership. You have to own it. One other thing when it comes to leadership, leaders add value to other people. Leaders add value to other people. Leaders add value to their team, the people in their charge. And for you to add value to the people in your charge, you have to first add value to yourself. Like on the plane, it says, put on your thing before you put on your, if what thing from the other thing, you know what I'm talking about, put it on first before you put it. To add value to other people, you have to first become more valuable. For you to add value to other people, you have to first become more valuable. So it's important about intentionally becoming more valuable. How do you become more valuable? We talked about it, reading the books, listening to audios, attending events, paying attention to your association. You become a more valuable person, so you can add value to your people. And when you're building your people, that's also building you. You ever realize if you try to push somebody down, try it. If you go to someone and try to push them down, you realize both of y'all going down, everybody going down. But if you try to push somebody, if you try to lift somebody up, we're all going up. It's the same thing. Build people, add value to yourself, add value to your people. And there's John C. Maxwell says there's 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. I'm not going to all 21. But just understand this. One of my favorite things, something that changed the game for me. I remember I spoke to one of my mentors, and he told me that I had to create a movement, and I interpreted that to mean that I had to become a better leader. And I started pouring into leadership stuff. I started listening to all type of leadership, the books and audios and stuff. And I heard John C. Maxwell said that you can love them and not lead them, but you cannot lead them and not love them. You have to love them to lead them. And I hope that sinks into somebody, because there's people on the line, I'm sure you think this success thing is about you, and you make it all about you. It's you, me. It has nothing to do with you. You can love them and not lead them, but you cannot lead them and not love them. You have to love them to lead them. And guys, I want to close. Let me pull my slides up. This one last slide at the end. And at the end of the day, guys, relationship is love. It's about love. And this is something I wrote. I think I wrote it years ago. And I love reading it. It says, love is the solution to all perceived problems. Love people, love your surroundings, love yourself, love the process, love the struggle, love the ones that don't love you back, love the earth, love life, love all because you are love. Love is bliss, love is peace, love is serenity, love is happiness. Love is a decision. See, if we all consciously make a decision to love people, to just love, We have incredible relationships. I heard Letters Brown say love and happiness is like perfume. You can't sprinkle it on others without getting a little bit on yourself. Love is service. I mentioned Jim Rohn, he says, service to many leads to greatness, right? Love is forgiveness. And this one is key. There's a lot of people on the line that you have to forgive somebody. You cannot reach your full potential. It's impossible to reach your full potential when you're holding on to negative emotions. It's impossible. I heard my pastor says unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting somebody else to die. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting somebody else to die. It's only hurting you. Like when you forgive somebody, it's not even about it's for you. And you know, there's a story. I don't like sharing the story, but I'm gonna share it because it proves the point so well. Those who know me, I have a red personality, right? I'm high charge and go get stuff done, like no BS, no excuses. That's me all day. And my father, the same exact way. I guess I got it from him. And there was a point when my father and I had a disagreement, and I didn't talk to him for. I ain't talked to my father for I want to say over a year, maybe longer. I don't remember what it was that we were upset about. And anyways, family members used to call me. I say, yo, call the father. I would say, yo, why don't you tell him to call me? I ain't calling him. And that was my attitude, right? I'm not sure what was going on as far as communication with him. But anyways, one day my uncle called me and said, yo, they doing a party in Jamaica. I should come. Or the party guy right there said, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be at the party. I ain't missing the party. And guys, when I showed up in Jamaica, I saw my father the first time in over a year. And I remember my father being a strong, big man, and he was like skin and bones, like skinny as he looked, sick. And I found out on that trip that my father had stage 4 cancer. And you know, when that happened, it was like, I don't even remember why I wasn't talking to my father. And at that point, it didn't even matter. I remember I spent a couple nights with him. We slept together or whatever. And it was such a rough situation. And when I came back to America, he passed. And the only thing I could think about was like, I wasted a year and a half that I can't get back to spend with my father. Because I was holding to a grudge, I was being stubborn, and I can't even tell you what it was right now. So obviously it wasn't that important. And you know, after I lost my father, I thought about everybody who I felt like I had any type of animosity with. I didn't care if I was wrong there. I didn't care. I called everybody I could think of, and I apologized for my part in whatever it was that we had. And I let it all go. And it was such a liberating feeling to do that. And I still regret the time I didn't get a chance to spend with my father. And I'm hoping somebody that hears me, this connects with you. You have to forgive. You have to forgive. It's not worth it to hold on to that. And there's people on this line that you have to forgive yourself. I know it didn't go how you wanted it to go. I know it might not have worked out how you wanted it to work out. But you have to let that go. You cannot reach your full potential holding on to negative emotions. And guys, forgiveness is love. Service to many leads to greatness. Service to many leads to greatness. And you know, when I heard that, I used to always think of, all right, service to many. So I need to have something incredible, something big, something huge that's going to impact a lot of people around the world, and that's service to many. And you know, that's true. That is actually service to many. But you know what I realized? if you call somebody, let's say I call Davis and I say, hey Davis, brother, how you doing, bro? Yo man, I just wanted to call you and tell you that, brother, I appreciate you. You are such an incredible example of this community, bro. I love you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And yo, we're cheering for you, brother. And I hang up the phone. How do you think Davis feels after receiving that call? Maybe he was having a rough morning. How do you think he feels? It feels great, right? But here's the flip side that you don't realize. How do you feel after you make such a call? Love and happiness is like perfume. You can't sprinkle it on others without getting a little bit on yourself. So I realized that if I call somebody and I thank them, that's service. If I call somebody and I encourage them, that's service. If I call somebody and I share my appreciation, if I call somebody and put a smile on their face, Tamisha, that's service. And I realized, as service to many, yes, it does lead to greatness, but it's so much more than that. Service to many, it leads to fulfillment. Service to many leads to happiness. Service to many, it leads to immortality. And here's why I say this. Guys, Bob Marley will never die. He gonna live forever. I heard Eric G said one time that there's 2 times you die, the time when you put your foot in the ground and the last time somebody calls your name. Bob Marley's name will live on forever and forever and forever and forever. Jim Rohn will never die. Jim Rohn's name will live on forever and forever and forever and forever and forever and forever. Mother Teresa, she'll never die. Her name will live on forever and forever and forever and forever and forever. So service to many, it leads to greatness, it leads to fulfillment. But for me, the biggest thing is service to many leads to immortality. And ladies and gentlemen, I think everybody on this line, we were meant to live forever. So let's cultivate these relationships and let's serve a lot of people. Let's change the world together. Miss Blackwood, that's all I got for you. Thank you for having me. I don't know if you have any questions. I know I went way over the 30 minutes that you told me I was supposed to talk, but that's your fault. You didn't realize I was a talker. But
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I think some of the questions that may have been fielded were answered in your presentation, but I always, I don't know, the teacher in me always likes to open up the floor for questions because oftentimes, you get to connect even deeper with the audience. All right, so I'm going to close my camera. Ladies and gentlemen, you can open up your mic. We're going to spend maybe the next 5 minutes, so it's up to 9:22 asking questions. So if you have a question, I'm going to ask you to open up your microphone. If you want to open up your camera, that's totally up to you, and you can ask Mr. Saxton any question that you have at this time. If you want to type it too, that's fine, because we do understand that some people are at work. However you want to make it work.
Nobody has questions. That did a great job.
Yeah, I think even the question that I had, you answered it. So okay, awesome. All right, so Davies, okay, so somebody's asking. Jordan, Mr. Barnes is asking, how do you build in an environment that you didn't like? You didn't find it productive. It was not the right energy, so the wrong energy, right? Like at work, they are not bad people, but with the wrong mindset. So how do you build in an environment where a lot of the variables are not favorable, are not good things?
I change the environment. I wouldn't build in that environment. See, it's my response. If I know that the things that I know, like I shared tonight, that my associations are important. The people I spend time with is important. I'm not going to subject myself and keep myself in an environment that is not conducive to my growth. So if I find that somebody is negative, I'm not going to spend much time with that person. You get what I'm saying? If everybody over here, their mindset is partying and sleeping with a lot of women and all type of things that are not conducive with where I'm trying to go, I have to have the awareness to know that this is not where I'm supposed to be. We say it all the time, and again, it's just about being intentional. But if you're talking about a situation where maybe you have a job and this is where you work, hey, you go to work and do what you can do. But after work, you surround yourself with the right people. That's temporary. Because you can't change people. You can't change people. People have the desire to change themselves. So if you recognize that's the wrong environment, you avoid that environment. I think Jim Rohn says like this: if you plan when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. If you plant apple seeds, you know, when they put up a sign that says pear, when the tree come apples. so if you want to, just if the environment is not conducive the way you're trying to go, you just have to find another environment. Just be intentional, be aware, and be intentional. That's what I say about that.